is going on, everybody? This is Cabale with Cabale Media, and in today's video, we are talking about A/B testing part 3. In the world of marketing, there are so many variables that we can test. We're not just talking about email marketing, we're talking about website design, ads, social media, all types of variables, but today we are going to talk about email marketing, A/B testing part 3, because I think that email marketing reigns supreme. And I'm not just saying that because I primarily work in email marketing. I'm saying that because most people are on their phones 95% of the day, and people open their email all day long. You could even argue that it's checked more than social media, but we won't get into that. So, the last 2 videos, I talked about some A/B tests. Let's talk about some more A/B tests. Some you may have heard of, some you may have not heard of. So this one may catch you a little bit by surprise, but it's font size. Depending on your audience, some people could see and some people can't. Some people can see and some people can't. I can tell you now, as I'm getting older, some fonts are getting harder to read. Sometimes I even have to put my glasses on. Think about that when you're testing emails. Don't necessarily think about it as an age thing, but also think about it as a style thing. If you want to use 14 points one email, maybe 12 another. Although 12 is kind of small, use different headings. We talk about making emails skimmable. You want the important things in bold or italics, and then you custom and you tailor the email to your audience. Again, if you want to use something like 14 point or 12 point, test it, maybe even 16 or 18. Think about the type of browsers they're opening it in. Is it Outlook? Is it Gmail? Is it AOL? Some people still do. Some people use Yahoo still. Some people use Hotmail. Think about probably the most 3 to 4 top clients, which are generally Outlook if you're in B2B, and then Gmail if you're in B2C. People do have a lot of company emails, but people do open it up on their telephone. Think about that. Try to mobile optimize it so it looks probably the best on mobile, and then work around and make the desktop version the best possible way you can make it so it looks great amongst all browsers and all email apps. Outlook, Gmail tend to be the ones that everybody uses most. Just try to make it as good as you can. One thing you have to understand is that you may not be able to get it perfect across all platforms, but try to get it as perfect as you can and as close as you want it to look as possible. Font style, sans serif versus serif. I am a bigger fan of sans serif. I don't like those little tails. I think looks too regal. Maybe it looks... I'm not a fan of Times Roman, and anybody that I work with knows that. Time Romans to me just seems so outdated, but then again, so does Arial. In things like HubSpot or MailChimp, you only have a limited set of fonts that you can use. Try to find one that's really geared more towards your audiences. There are ones that look a little bit younger. I generally stick to some type of plain sans, and in Klaviyo, Joss seems to be a pretty good one. But then again, it doesn't render across all browsers, so just remember that. Installing Adobe fonts and getting all that technical stuff and jargon into it is going to take a little bit more time, so try to find a font that really looks like it's within your age range. I'm going to say, and I'm pretty sure here that about 85 to 90% of people that send emails generally do send in a sans serif font. Even something as plain as Verdana, if that's how you pronounce it, I use that pretty often just because it looks good in emails, or something like a Gothic sans. Those seem to be a little bit more modern. They could look a little outdated depending on how you're styling the email. I say stick to serif fonts. I say stick to sans serif fonts, but if you want to try serif, then whatever floats your boat, man. Background color. I know this may seem something weird to test, but some people, when they see dark emails, it doesn't always do well. Now, depending on your brand, I do work with some brands that have darker backgrounds, right? And those are fine. That's the aesthetic of the email. White backgrounds, because it's very clean, it's very crisp, it's very bright. It shoots that white right into the user's face, and it gives this very aesthetic, pleasing look. Now, there are a lot of brands that have dark backgrounds, like I said. When I think of dark backgrounds, I think of brands like Harry's, the shaver, and a few other companies that I work with. Nike likes to use a black background. Test white, test black, see which one works better. I'm just giving you my opinion. I think white looks better, but you never know. Your return of investment might be better if you use a black background. Test it and see what happens. Responsive design. Now, this can go either way. I do work with companies that use more desktop-friendly designs, but then they combine it, or they make a hybrid of half desktop, half mobile. And what I mean by that is that there's specific images they don't want stacked. If you know mobile optimization and you know email mobile versions very well, you know that depending on how you style your email, images will stack. Let's say they have a particular image that they want to use, and it has rows and columns, but they don't want to slice it. You can do some of the email where some of it is optimized and some of it is more desktop friendly. In the next video, I'll start to show you examples of what I'm talking about, but I'm pretty sure that you've seen emails where some of the email stacked. It goes text stack images, and then it has regular images that are not stacked at all. And it also depends on the columns you're using. Again, catering to specific audiences. If you're going to do emails that are more probably catered to Outlook users, I would try to aim more towards desktop type design. And if you're aiming to get a younger crowd, then I would do the stack design just because it's more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. But again, it depends on the business. You make that judgment call. Personalized offers. We speak about personalization a lot. You can do personalized offers based on past purchases or general offers. General offers meaning evergreen, 10% off, $5 off, $75 off free shipping, or offers based on their past purchases, $20 off because you liked ... For example, again, we'll use a clothing brand. Let's say 20% off leggings because you bought a sweatshirt. Kind of just pairing them together, or 20% off a pair of running sneakers because you bought these shorts. So you can do it based on their past purchases, which I love, right? Upsell, downsell, cross-sell. Or you can do an evergreen offer, which is just your standard general offer, $5, 10% off, $75 off, or free shipping of $75 or more. You pick and choose, and then go from there. Email frequency. Now, this is hard to tell, and you need to test this pretty well to see the sweet spot as where people are getting annoyed, and they will get annoyed. If you start to see your unsubscribe rate going up, it could be one of many reasons. There are other reasons, but I can tell you that most people do get annoyed if you send too many emails. Find that sweet spot, and then if the content just sucks, and I hate to be brutally honest here, it's a very good reason why people unsubscribe. Make sure the content always resonates with your audience. Try to send a couple emails a week and see what happens. Then, when you get that average, or you see where the unsubscribe rate is low and you're getting a better click-through rate, open rate, return of investment, that's when you'll get that number and you can say, okay, this is the best number of emails you should send a week. Including a survey. Now, including a survey is great. You get real life feedback about how people feel about you. Sometimes, to be honest with you, it hurts a little bit, but that's okay. You need to know what to improve in your business. As business owners, we see what we see, and sometimes we need other opinions that are not our own and not from people that we know well. That's when hiring comes into place. You can find people that will give you the real deal on how they feel about certain topics, things that you're sending. Having a second eye or checks and balances is always great to have, just so they can see, that person, what you don't see. Again, as business owners, we see everything the way we see it, but we always need to have that second opinion. So, surveys are a great way to test, but conversely, if you want to test it, you can do no survey, and you can see if you get more of an engagement survey versus non-surveyed emails. Urgency tactics, using timers or using no timers. You have the timer counting down. Those things I feel work great. I think when you have that sense of urgency, the consumer on the other side is saying, oh, I only have a few hours left to take advantage of this sale. Test timers versus no timers, I seem to think they work pretty well. Even using those timer emojis in the subject lines have proven to work really well. Try it out a couple of times, see if it works out. I think it will do actually a great service for emails. It's something easy to do, and it's something that's very easy to test. Use timers if you're having a sale or maybe a webinar is coming up, and then see what happens from there if you get more engagement from having a timer or no timer in your emails. Loyalty program and promos. This is a big one here, and I think everybody should have a loyalty program. The more money that they spend, the more points they earn, and the more points they have in order to spend more money. So who wouldn't want to have a loyalty program? To the business, it shouldn't really cost a lot of money, considering that they're returning customers, unless they're those customers who buy really low ticket items, then maybe it really wouldn't help a lot. But if you have products that are fairly priced or even high priced, having a loyalty program is great because you know they're more likely to come back and buy. Giving them a couple of dollars off isn't going to hurt you, so why not experiment with it? Try adding loyalty programs to your emails, then have the other version where it's not mentioning the loyalty program, and then see what happens from there. I'm pretty confident that those emails you're sending with the loyalty program included will do a lot better. Header image, should you include one or should you not include one? Anything that's by default will always attract the attention. Whether you use a CTA or an image, that's totally up to you. I say test an image versus a non-image. Maybe add product rows to the bottom. Use an image that's very design heavy versus just text-based, and then see what happens from there. Generally, when you use graphics all the time, your customer is already waiting for that graphic to show up. So if you want to throw them for a loop, you can always do a text-based email, but I would test both and see what turns out to be the better result. You never know, changing it up might actually do you some good. If you're a company that uses images pretty heavily, test it out, try to do a text-based email, and then see which one performs better. I think you'll probably be pleasantly surprised that you may get a result that you're not expecting. All right, another short video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below, or you could email me here at jcabale.com. You can go to cabalemedia.com and get your 30-minute free consultation. I would love to talk to you about email marketing and scaling your business. If you want to leave a comment below, you can do that as well. You can like, share, and subscribe. I'll put the button right here. I'll put it over here somewhere on the screen. But I hope everybody knows that you actually can click it. And yeah, that's A/B testing part 3. We will do some live videos next week with me going through prompts, things to test, examples, and I am confident that these videos will make your email marketing get better. It is my job and my purpose to help you scale your business utilizing email marketing, and that's what I'm here to do. So that's all for today, and this is Cabale with Cabale Media. See you at the next video.